Last week, I was scrolling through Instagram looking at the people I subscribe to, and I stumbled across Cutie Queen's video where she was called out to show the oldest sneaker in her collection. Listening to her story kind of had me taking a trip down memory lane, and I started to wonder, what's the oldest thing in my collection? And what's the oldest shoe that I haven't worn? This should be interesting.
Thank you. King.
Dopamine Shot, what's good? It's your boy T Real. Now, in my lifetime, I've probably sold and given away more shoes than most people have been able to purchase in their lifetime. And it kind of makes sense. I'm from Memphis. We have the big Nike factory there, the employee store there. I've always been able to get something from there because of people that my family knew or that I knew. My first job was at Chick-fil-A in the Raleigh Springs Mall. Moved from there to Finish Line, also in the Raleigh Springs Mall. Moved to Atlanta in January 2005. First job in Atlanta, Finish Line, South DeKalb Mall. Moved from there to Foot Locker on Memorial Drive. So I've always been around sneakers, always picked up sneakers. Now in 2010-ish, I had an incident where a lot of my shoes were stolen. Since then, I've given away a lot of shoes, I've bought a lot of shoes. So I was actually surprised to have something as old as this still in my collection. Now, if you ask my wife, she'll tell you that this is one of my favorite pair of shoes, hence this is why I hadn't gotten rid of it. I've worn the heck out of this thing, and it shows. And that is a shoe that was made in 2008, or released in 2008. Released March 29th of 2008 as a pack. You could buy them separately, and they were the Jordan 1 opening day. This is the white pair. There was also a black pair, and this shoe was made to commemorate Michael Jordan's time with the Chicago White Sox minor league baseball team, the Barons. Now, if you look at the shoe closely, you'll see where the inspiration kicks in with the shoe. You have baseball stitching above the swoosh on both sides of the shoe, and also around the toe box you also have the baseball stitching. You have the pinstripes that kind of match some of the stuff on the jersey, and I love the strings. Now, unfortunately, the ends of my strings got a little interesting, so I tried to cap them off because I wanted to keep the OG strings in, and it looks weird, but I think if I had them on feet, or when I have them on feet, you can't really tell unless you're purposely looking for it. But yeah, this is my oldest pair, 2008 Jordan 1 opening days, and the black pair, I had them in my collection as well. But at the time when a lot of my shoes were stolen, I went back home to stay with my dad, and the grass needed cutting, and I hadn't had any grass cutting shoes because I hadn't been cutting grass in years. I stayed in an apartment. So the worst pair of shoes, or the oldest pair of shoes I had at the time, were the black pair of these, and they were dumb crease, but with me, the more crease Jordan 1s are, the better they look. So I didn't have a problem with still wearing them, but I had to do what I had to do. At the time, I wasn't trying to pay anybody to cut the grass, so I cut grass in them shoes. And how these are oxidized and yellow around the midsole, the other pair were green, and I ended up just keeping those as grass cutting shoes for a couple months, and then ended up either trashing them or donating them. Probably the worst shoe mistake I've made. I could have went to Ross or something and bought some shoes for $15, $20 just to cut grass in, but it is what it is. As far as the oldest shoe in my collection, there's no surprise there for me. This shoe came out in 2016, and there were less than 2,000 pair made. They made this shoe to commemorate the 1996 Olympics in Atlanta, and therefore only 1,996 pair of these shoes were made. And I was lucky enough to get a pair thanks to the homie Mr. Design Junkie on Instagram, so make sure you give him a follow. Now, technically, to me, this shoe is no longer DS because I did change the laces on them. But if you've seen my videos actually in the room, in the case, you'll see this. The 96 ATL Bo Jacksons. And I bought this shoe knowing that I wouldn't wear it. I wanted to grab two of these so I could wear a pair. But like I said, I did change the laces out, so shout out to Sneakerhead's clothing line for the custom leather laces with the gold eyelids. To me, it's just a perfect cap to this shoe with the 3M and high suede. I absolutely love this shoe. Now, the plan for this thing is to get Bo Jackson to sign the Peach shoe. Or I'm sorry, get Bo Jackson to sign the Nike shoe. I want a gold paint pen next time Bo is signing. I think his next coming up is in Alabama. But I want him to hit this toe box for me. And I'm going to keep these things on display. That's my oldest DS, technically not DS, but oldest unworn pair of shoes in my collection. And the oldest pair in my collection, period. So overall, I think 2 dope pair of shoes. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what the oldest sneaker is in your collection and the oldest thing that you haven't had an opportunity to wear yet. If you hadn't already, go ahead and follow me on Instagram at Montreal Crawford and sub to the channel The Dopamine Shot on YouTube. If you've been here before, I appreciate you for coming back. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to come check me out, because that's how you can help this channel and my Instagram grow. It's been real. Till next time.